Hey fellow learners, the topic for today's video is Python while loop, and I am going to cover what is a while loop, as what is the structure or syntax of a while loop, and then we will understand uses of while loop with the help of examples like looping through a list or a string, looping through number ranges, looping through number ranges with a step value, looping in descending order, and infinite loop. But first thing first, what is a while loop? Here I am into the Python official documentation page, and here it defines the while statement. The while statement is used for repeated execution as long as an expression is true. What does it mean is that in the while statement the condition is tested first and then the loop is executed. As long as that condition holds true, the loop gets executed, and when that condition becomes false, it exits. Here I am writing a very simple syntax of a while loop, how the while loop looks like. As I said, condition is tested first, so we need to set the condition. Let us say it is true, and then the while loop starts with the while keyword, obviously, condition, then the colon, then you hit enter and mind the indentation, and here whatever code that you have written. So everything that is written over here, it will be in line number 4 and onwards, it will be executed repeatedly till this condition holds true. This way, once this condition becomes false, it will terminate the loop. Now let us understand it with the help of some examples. First example, as I said earlier, is that looping through list or strings. I have a list here defined which is having 4 elements: simple, easy, Python, and 3.14. My aim here is to iterate through this list and print each element. As I have said earlier, a condition is tested first in the while loop. So let us define something here. I am going to call it condition itself and set it to 0, although you can call this variable anything. Now while statement starts with while keyword, so let us write while here, while. Now if I go back to the Python official documentation, here you see the while statement is used for repeated execution as long as an expression is true. So let us define that expression. My expression is that condition is less than the length of this particular list, print the elements of the list here. Now if I leave it up to here, what will happen is that of course it will be printing simple only. Reason being, the condition is always set to 0 here. We are not changing the condition. So this value, it will always evaluate to true because 0 is less than the length of my list, which is 4. So this condition will always remain true, and this will go into a kind of forever loop. Do not try this. So let us increase it by 1. Now if I run this, what will happen here is that, oh, my mistake, it should have been condition. You see here, simple, easy, Python 3.14. Now let us understand the working. Condition initially set to 0. This expression, condition less than length of my list. Now for first iteration, when it is entering the while loop, it is 0 less than 4 true. Therefore it is going to print the simple, that is the first element, because condition is at 0. So it is going to print the element at 0 index. Now we are incrementing the condition by 1. Okay, again it will check for the this expression. Now condition is 1. Is it less than 4? Yes. So it is going to print me the element at index number 1, which is easy. Then it is increased by again 1. So condition becomes 2. Come back here. Condition 2 less than 4. Yes, it is 2 is less than 4. So it is going to print the element at index number 2, which is Python. You see coming it over here. Now we are again incrementing condition by 1. Now it condition becomes 3. So come back here, 3 less than 4, yes, very much. Therefore it is going to print the element at index number 3, which is 3.14. and now condition is increased by 1 again, so it becomes 4. Now this condition, this here expression, condition less than the length of a string, so 4 less than 4, no, false, and it gets out of the loop. So this is how the while loop works with strings and lists. You can try it with the strings also the same manner. Now let us try to play with ranges, numbers. Again I am going to define a variable. Now this time I am going to make it short. I am going to call it I. I is equal to 0. Now I am going to say while I is less than 5, print I, and then after I am going to increase I again by 1. Run the program. Here you see 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. I is initially set to 0. So here the expression is that I less than 5, 0 less than 5, right? So print I. So 0 is printed. Now I is increased by 1. I becomes 1. I less than 5, yes. So print 1. Again increase it by 1. I becomes 2. 2 less than 5, yes. So 2 is printed. Again increase I by 1. I becomes 3. Come here again, 3 less than 5, yes it is. So 3 is printed. I is increased by 1 making it 4. 4 less than 5, yes, 4 is printed, and then I is increased by 1 and it becomes 5. 5 less than 5, no, false, it gets out of the loop. This is how it is. If we have to print something with, let us try to now print something with the step value. I am going to write here I is equal to 10 while I is less than 50. Again I am defining the expression, print I, and I want to print something like that, 10, 15, 20 like that with the step value of 5. So I am going to increase I by 5. Here you see 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 and 45. In the last iteration, when let us start from the first iteration, I is set to 10, 10 less than 50, fine, 10 is printed, then I becomes 15, 15 less than 50, yes, 15 is printed, then I again increase by 5, then I becomes 20, 20 less than 50, it is printed, and so on so forth. Now what if we want to print it into the reverse direction? I am defining I is equal to 50, and I am going to say while I is greater than 10, print I, and this time because I want to go into the reverse direction, I am going to decrease I by 5. Each iteration I am going to decrease it by 5. I should have written here I missed that. You see it here, I is initially 50, okay, 50 is greater than 10, so 50 is printed. Now I is decreased by 5, I becomes 45, 45 is still greater than 10, so 45 is printed. Third iteration, I is again decreased, so 40, it becomes 40, 40 is still greater than 10, so 40 is printed, and so on so forth. Most of the time while loop is used to create an infinite loop. When I say infinite loop, I do not mean that you remove the condition from here and if I run it, it will always go into infinite mode, because I is always set to 50 and it is not moving. Something like this. So you see it is always printing me 50. I do not mean like this. Let's get it back to the original what it was. What I mean here is that creating a kind of loop where it will keep running forever until a specific input or a valid input, whatever you think is given. I am going to emulate here something that is into the bank ATM programs. You go to the bank ATM, insert your card, and then you are presented with certain options like withdraw money, check your balance, transfer money, something like that, and quit. I'm going to emulate that program, but not with that many choices and not to that extent. Just I want to show it to you here. I am going to define here a variable called response, and I am going to put here 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now I am going to define another variable here, which I am going to set it to 0. Let's write the while loop, and I will explain it to you once I have written it. While choice not in response, print 1, print 1 dot withdraw money. Number 2, I'm going to say check balance. I'm just going to go with the 3 options here, and number 3 is going to be quit. Now here, what I am trying to say here is that I am restricting the user for these 3 choices. The user need to enter only these 3 choices, right? So now I can come over here and write choice is equal to int input, enter your choice. Let me bring it down a little down. Now here I can say if choice is equal to 1, then print withdrawing money. If choice is equal to 2, I can say print checking balance. If choice is equal to 3, print thank you for using our services. So this is a small program. I do not want to make it long, so I am just keeping it short just to explain the fundamentals. Time to run the program. I am going to enter choice 4. You see, again I am presented with the same menu: withdraw money, check balance, quit. This time I am going to press 0. Again you see I am getting the same out in print: withdraw money, check balance, quit. Till the time I do not enter either 1, 2 or 3, I am restricting the user here to enter. You can just make it a bit more here, 1, 2 or 3, something like this. Hardly matters, but you should understand the concept. The moment I say 1, now it is getting out of the loop and saying withdrawing money. So this loop will keep running till the time I do not enter either 1, 2 or 3, and this is what I meant by infinite loop. In practical world, when it comes to the practical programming, most of the time while loop is used for such purposes. That's it for this video. As usual, I'm going to upload all these codes onto my GitHub page and share the link in the description box. If you have learned something new today, then do not forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel. Till that time, happy coding.